how do I possibly know what VPN vendors out there are reputable and how we can, and who we could use? So what I would firstly say is, for the love of God, don't use free VPNs, as they can potentially be full of malware, and you don't want to trust these organizations with your traffic, your data, your logging. When you use a VPN, when you're using that full tunnel VPN, you are sending all of your traffic, all of your internet traffic to this organization. So VPN companies are still a business that are asking us as the customer to trust what can't be seen. And by that I mean, we can't tell if they're not logging. We can't tell if they've encrypted everything properly and perfectly. We can't tell that they are promising, that they are living up to the promises that they are making. So from that perspective, reputation for these companies is absolutely everything. Finding a reputable VPN provider, here are some of the things or the characteristics or the requirements that I would suggest you look for when looking for VPN vendors. First is that the organization promises that they have a no logs policy, or that they don't store logs. So that means if any other government from another country goes and talks to these VPN providers, they can't get the logs from these VPN providers' servers to find out what you were doing, to find out what sites you were visiting, to find out any information about you. So these three providers at the bottom have a don't store or no policy, or no logs policies. Second is that they advertise decent download speeds. Some of these VPN providers you might try, even if you're paying for them, because you're sending all your traffic through this provider. If they have a slow server, you're slowing down your internet speeds because you're bottlenecking it through your VPN vendor or provider. Make sure that if you do get a VPN, you really want to install it on all of your devices, your laptops, your phones, your mobiles, your TVs even, or in some instances the vendor themselves may actually support your home internet modem. So Optus or Telstra or whoever it is in whatever country you're at, you may be able to create a VPN directly from your modem without having to install it on every endpoint. But you want to make sure that whatever vendor you're choosing, they don't charge per device you're logging into their VPN. You want, of course, the vendor to support multiple devices. So you want them to support things like Mac OS X, Windows, mobile, iPhone, tablets, all of the different environments and devices. You want to make sure that the vendor encrypts all your traffic, so that even if somebody was able to get hold of the traffic, sniff that traffic, snoop on that traffic, they can't do anything with it because they can't actually read it. Some of these vendors will also have additional protection, things like ads and internet tracking blocking, kill switches, for example, for when they detect that your actual IP address may be leaked, malware scanning, and other things like that. You want to check that the organization that's subscribing to for a VPN is operated from a country with internet freedom and away from interference. So private internet access, for example, is or was US based. That's certainly the last time I checked. And I think ExpressVPN and CyberGhost are headquartered in the British Virgin Isles. But just keep that in mind. You don't want to get a VPN provider that is subjected to draconian local government rules, regulations, or interference. Just to give you a very quick breakdown of what these products are or what they offer, I've put that in a quick table just to show you and give you a comparison for what's there. To give you an idea also of the costs involved for the products themselves. PIA here coming out as probably the most modest as far as costs concerned, though it probably has the lowest amount of countries that's supported across these two. Having said that, I've literally used for the VPNs that I've used in the past, I've used it to connect to the UK, the US, and Australia. So if you're doing a lot of traveling, then it might be worth investigating in the global access and checking that you get the countries that you're going to be visiting frequently. But note that there's always various plans and lots of offers, and 86% plus something or other off each of these plans when you go onto their websites. What they average out to be is about between 60 and 80 US dollars a year. That's it for this video. Super quick introduction to just VPNs, why you should use VPNs, how they work, and some of the characteristics of what you should look for in a reputable VPN vendor. Hope it's been useful for you. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next video.